I want to know what video games you play while drinking.
All of them.
Hey, how lucky can I be? Our guest now is Alison Haislip.
Yeah.
And if you want an introduction, forget it, because everybody knows who she is. Let's start out. You have done so many things on the internet.
I have. That makes it sound a little dirty, but yes.
What was your favorite thing?
Well, I would say my favorite project that I worked on was a show called Battleground. It was Hulu's first originally produced scripted show, and it was very much in the vein of like The Office. It's kind of like if you mashed up The Office and West Wing.
Was that on the internet?
Yep, it was on Hulu. It was their first kind of dive into making their own TV shows. And not only was it a great project to work on, but I really think it was something that was at the forefront of showing that you don't have to get your TV on TV all the time. You can get really great content online anytime you want it, and I kind of think that that's where our industry is going these days. You know, people are watching this show online right now.
I was just gonna say, you're pretty much plugging our show.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's advertising
that's
for
why
us.
we wanted the gal.
It's true.
The one that I seem to remember was it called The Attack of the Show?
Attack of the Show, yeah. On G4.
Now you did that for a while, and I think you gained a lot of fame.
Yeah.
And what was that all about, dear?
Well,
not that I don't know, but somewhere there might be someone who is longing for an explanation.
Well, you know, G4 has always stood for like a geek culture type of network. We focus on video games and comic books and great TV shows that we all know and love and that kind of stuff. And I honestly had never hosted a day before in my life before I worked on that show. I happened to be bartending literally about 5 minutes away from here. And I was wearing an old school Nintendo remote control necklace. And a guy who worked in development came into the bar, and he sat at the bar and we started chatting, and he noticed my necklace and he was like, "Why do you have that?" And I was like, "Oh, I've played video games since I was 5. And he was like, "But you're a girl." And I'm like,
"But you're a girl."
Yep, last time I checked. and so we kind of started chatting, and he was like talking to me about video games, and once he realized that I actually knew what I was talking about, he was like, "You need to come in for an interview and be on our network." And I was like, okay, sure. And I went in and met with the network, and it was literally a 45-minute conversation of me talking about how I'm a massive nerd. I mean, just like delved into the fact that like I took philosophy of Tolkien in college, and like I went to space camp for 4 years and all this kind of stuff. And after that, they were like, "Well, yeah, let's test you out." And a couple weeks later, they tested me, and then they kind of started hiring me freelance. And before I knew it, I was like a regular on the show, and I had never done it before. I just kind of knew what I was talking about and winged it. so it all sort of worked out.
Tell me a little bit about 4 Points.
So that's the show. That's my interview show on the Nerdist channel. You know, so Chris Hardwick has his whole Nerdist industry. I now refer to him as the Ryan Seacrest of nerds because it's like, what doesn't he do? So he has his own YouTube channel called The Nerdist, and I host 4 Points with my buddy Alex Albrecht, and it's Alex and myself. I just stuck my finger in my drink.
Anybody got a Band-Aid?
I know.
Stop the show.
Nope, it's fine. Just drinking it off. So it's Alex and myself, and then we have a Nerdist chair, which is someone else from another Nerdist show sits there, and then we have our celebrity guest for the week. So in this case, it would be me, but
That's great.
It's great. We've had on Zach Levi and Jason Ritter, and like it's been like a really fun group of people that we've brought on. And then we sit there and we just talk about 4 different topics that are kind of involved in the nerd geek world. Just something that we think it's cool to talk about.
Like I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
I'm trying to learn from you how to do it.
Right. Well, we've talked about like that guy who got stranded in the desert somewhere, so he built a motorcycle out of his broken down car. Like Mad Max style, and drove off or something like we talk about that kind of ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
And we have drinks while we do it, and it's just fun and laid back. And
yeah, well, I want to know how you got into nerdy things.
You know,
I want to know too. I don't want you to think she's the only one.
No.
We are both fascinated.
Honestly, both my parents are huge geeks, and I hope they don't mind me saying that. But like,
oh, wait a minute, is geek synonymous with nerd?
It can be. I think you can be a geek without being a nerd, because like you can be a geek about like bikes and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah, an enthusiast.
That's very clever of you. You're right. You could be a geek about anything, but a nerd We know
It
where
tends
they
to-
come from.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Go.
But both my parents met in marching band in college, so they were super cool, obviously. And they're both like massive Trekkies, and my mom was way into Lord of the Rings. She actually studied it when she was in school as well. So when I was growing up, she gave me her old copy of the Lord of the Rings books, and it had all her pencil-written notes in there.
I have the same thing for
Yeah.
my dad, the Silmarillion.
Oh my God! Yes,
Wow.
I read the Silmarillion too.
Yeah.
How many people read the Silmarillion?
Very few.
Yeah, exactly.
Not enough.
I know. So just kind of living in that, growing up, I did not know that what I was doing was sort of outcasty or whatever. It was just how I learned to live very young.
It was natural for you.
Yeah, exactly. It was basically, I think, when I got to high school and was going to space camp, and my friends were like, "You're doing what?" That was when I sort of realized that, like, maybe I was on the outskirts a little.
So what video game did you start with?
Ooh, did I start with? Well, my parents had an Atari 2600 before I was born,
Yeah.
so as soon as I figured out how to like move a stick and push buttons, I was playing that. I played Combat a lot on that, although I called it Tanks because I didn't realize it was called Combat.
It
To me,
is
it was just the
You
tanks.
didn't know what it was called.
No, I was like 5 when I played this game. I just called it Tanks because tanks shot at each other, and there happened to be planes in the game too, but the planes were part of tanks to me, you know. This is the best. The Atari was hooked up to a black and white TV in my basement, so that's where I would play all the time. And one Christmas, we brought the Atari to my grandparents' place where we were spending the holidays, and they hooked it up to their color TV, and my mind was blown because I honestly thought that all Atari games were in black and white. I did not realize that they could be in like 3 colors as well. That was the first time I was like, oh, the tanks are pink and green.
Okay, well here's a question. What
Before
is your...
you get to that question, I want you to do me a favor.
Yes.
Next time we invite our guests, would you try to get somebody with a little enthusiasm, somebody who likes to talk about what you? And I mean, you sit here and you listen
drink
to
a
these
coffee
people
before I
who
come
can't
on the show.
who
Yeah.
can't make one word follow another, and no, you are really just incredible. I could listen to you all
Stan.
day. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, it's
Go
quite
ahead.
all right. Well, since we're drinking cocktails, cheers,
Yes.
by the way.
Oh, by the way.
Cheers.
Yes,
Absolutely.
so I want to know what video games you play while drinking.
All of them. Let me think. Most recently, I just finished Quantum Conundrum, which is a downloadable game on Xbox Live, and that was super fun. I think I drank a lot of beers while playing Portal 2. That was great. When I was in college, actually every Sunday night I used to get together. I was a freshman, and I would get together with a bunch of senior guys, and we would play GoldenEye. We had like a GoldenEye club that we'd play every Sunday night, and all my friends were like, "Why are you hanging out with all those guys?" I'm like, "Because we play video games."
Yeah.
Like I run around and I shoot them with a golden gun. It's awesome.
Well, you were a girl.
Yes.
And they were guys.
Yes,
And
yes,
somebody
yes.
said, "Why are you hanging out with them?"
Well, it was more like, why is a freshman girl hanging out with senior guys if it's not like sketchy? And I was like, no, I literally just sit there and play video games.
For me, it was Dungeons and Dragons. But
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing. On that note, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, but we through soon. There's a
Wait,
lot
I
of
have one
others.
more thing.
okay.
All right, go ahead.
So earlier this year, I helped you launch your website, and we did that great interview together when I was blonde. And it happened to be the week of my birthday, and you gave me this beautiful bouquet of flowers, and you gave me a Spider-Man fruit basket, which was the coolest thing I've ever gotten. But I will have you know that my birthday card that you gave me to the birthday girl, I carried around in my wallet with me because I'm so excited that it says "Happy Birthday, Allison, Stan" on it. I carry this with me everywhere, Stan, just so I can prove to people that you gave me a birthday card.
That is so sweet. I'm so glad
I know, so I had
did.
to show it to you that I still had it
Oh,
all these months
wow.
later.
And it's
Now-
almost your birthday.
I
And
am
it's almost your
thrilled.
birthday, I know, so now I have to get you a really good birthday present.
Yeah, I better get a good one.
Spider-Man fruit basket.
I was just going to say, how do you beat
I
Spider-Man?
know.
Hey, what a great way to end. And may I say, in leaving, Excelsior!